Mahila. I want to say that Dabu had a really good tracking of the killing of the key and the recycling of the Y system, the U-turns. He had a really good tracking of that on his live show at night. Not tonight, but a couple nights ago when I went to Panda for dinner. I had Panda and was listening to him. And I asked for the box that they give at night, but they didn't give me that. They gave me, just the random meats that I put together that were on the driver's menu. But if you go there at night before they close, they have boxes that they give out. So just be aware of that. But the cleaning that they're using to clean the kitchen, it's a really bad fish smell. So I noticed that when I was going to a casino, and I never really wanted it. But I did get the box one time, and I got it for the man at the pizza shop, and he was like, do you want to go in on it together? And I just bought it for him one time, but I don't even think he ate it because I don't think he was working that night. It's communication, stuff like that. But the box was okay. It was all right. But Dabu did a great job collecting that tracking of the U-turn, and then Enter the Stars did a great job too with that. He was bouncing off of Majority Report, and they all just did a great job, like communicating the U-turn, and every key has that. It's your policy that you have. So they did a great job with that, and everyone have Grader's ice cream tonight, raspberry chocolate chip. This is my body that is broken for you. Please eat that tonight. Raspberry chocolate chip. If you can't get to the grocery store in time, just have it for breakfast in the morning. This is my body that is broken for you. You're not going to gain weight. It's not a big deal. Everything's okay. Yeah, we're bringing the whole thing down. Chris Evans, Winter Soldier, we're bringing the whole thing down. Avery from Pulp Fiction was on Alex Jones today. He was communicating like he was John. It was a great show. Quite possibly, Alex, the best show I've ever seen on there. Just the amount of information, and the back and forth was great. I mean, I could really see the relationship. I mean, it was all really, really cool. It was really cool. And to have someone like that on there, that's big time. I mean, yeah, Gary Busey for sure, and the Young Turks, I understand. In the moment, it looked like, okay, this is Grox or something, and he's communicating, and I mean, the whole thing was great, just the way it all came together. So everybody did a really good job. I had Japanese with my mom today. She touched my face in the car, said I needed to get, a shave and shave my head and a haircut. And so she touched me like, if you're in the deal and the tenant's this far in, you're not really supposed to be touched. So then we talked about just the situation at the house, people living at the house. We're not Mexicans. We're not a Mexican family. We're not gangsters. We're not, working at McDonald's and having 2 kids in our hands at the frying pan. These are things that I communicate to my mom, like on a spiritual level, just to break it down for her, like how serious the situation is, and I don't want her to be taken advantage of. And she rebutted with like, trying to take away Ben V's key. You know, she just threw that in my face, like real subtle. The whole thing was real subtle, but it's like, so then I have to deal with not Ben V lashing out at me, but like how she's coming after Ben V. And then I'm like, why would you do that? And it's like, probably because I said that Johnny spent the most time with Dee Dee and Dawn, because my mom never lived in Kentucky until she was out of college. And they moved there, and they were with Dee Dee and Dawn in Louisville, like visiting them for breakfast and coffee and stuff. And she lived in Ohio and Michigan her whole childhood, and then in 5th grade she moved to Chicago and met my dad. She was actually doing a presentation on the Ku Klux Klan, and Dad fell in love with her. So, and I mean, nothing bad, but I'm sure it was against it. I don't know what the presentation, I mean, you know, but so then they were in Chicago, then they went to Animal House University, and then they moved to Louisville, and like Lexington and in Kentucky and Campbellsville, you know, and that's where they say I was born, in Campbellsville, but I really wasn't. I was born in Senegal. This is all proven, but like I said, that Johnny spent the most time with Dee Dee and Dawn and Mitch because he would go there every summer, and only my mom would go on a weekend when she was a kid, but Johnny would go for the whole summer. And I'm like, well, I mean, I just put 2 and 2 together. I'm like, well, he spent the most time with them, you know, and it's like, so I think she was mad about that. And then she's like, you know, throwing these things in my face, like just all that. And I told her, I'm like, look, like, I'm just giving you another perspective. Like, I'm an actor. I'm giving you another perspective. And I got pretty heated with her, but I mean, she killed my food. I couldn't finish the meal. You know, I had to use the loo there for number 2, but you know, took a deposit, and it's like, you know, that Judd film, like, oh, never take a dump where you eat at. And it's like, I always think of that in my head, because I watched that, you know, when I was at the kitchen counter at, you know, making videos, even at the kitchen counter at Willow Wren, you know, where I was in the casita later on. And like my dad had that on, I was just listening to it in the background. And Samuel L. Jackson said that to Judd. And I'm like, I'm always thinking of what Samuel L. Jackson said. Like, that really stuck with me. And I knew I shouldn't have done that. But like, my mom on her phone had this Jen woman on her phone, Wozni or something. And I'm like, is that Kevin and them? Like, you know, like Lisa's sister? And I'm like, no, I don't think that's them. And then she, like, on her phone, it said, are you involved? It said, like, my mom said, or somebody said, like, are you involved? Like, are you involved in this? And like, that was the text to Jen. And I'm like, I just made a video on Jen. Then I get on Mr. T, and he's like, oh, Jen is involved with, and that's Jennifer from Mental Health Court is not who this person is. It's a different last name. And it's like, and she cut off anyway. She's, you know, a black woman in the industry. And like, you know, she really helped me. Like, she's not out to get me. And like, so then it's like Blake is like dealing with them from relationship or something, and like Family Feud or something. And like, you know, she's dealing with Blake or something. It's like, they're watching my videos, you know, like the Jen video that I made of Jennifer Aniston. And it's like, man, no, Mr. T, like, that's not what it is, man. Like, you got to take a step back, take a breath, man. Like, and I just gave you the download of the tribulation, you know, what if we get a text tonight, like what the text would be on our phone. And so you got to choose one. And it's like, Man, it's all good, man. Like, don't worry about anything. Like, that's what happened, man. That was my day today. I mean, usually I'm able to finish the meal, but I just couldn't even finish it. And I was thinking about Alex Jones all day. I'm like, man, he had such a great video. And it's like, you know, he had responded to my video of like all my videos. And it's like, man, we're really like putting this all together. And I just told my mom like how real this is. I'm like, look, like I don't want to be on the street, like, and I'm trying to put something together for Florida. And I'm like, do you want to live in the villages? Like, I'm saying all this, like, do you want to do this and that? Like decide what you want to do. And, like BA, she's only going to have a job till October, and then she's without a job. And I'm like, I don't want dad like telling stories like of Region, swim meet and the Man of War swim conference and Blake swimming the IM, individual medley. And then it's like, you know, like nothing is getting done. Like there's no job. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just said, like, look, I don't have anything against Mexicans. I love Mexicans. They make it work. They can pack in. Al Pacino. They pack in. But like white men can't do that. Like there's too many like bad like forces. Like if you're in Peru and Bolivia, like I understand, that you don't want to do that either because of Thyatira. I totally understand that because I don't want to do that because of that too. And it's like we don't do that and make it work. Like we're not family oriented like that. Like I don't get along with this gay corporate stuff, and like I don't want anything to do with it. So like Mexicans, they can make it work because they're not like that. You're talking about a different type of people, like, and black people don't do that. Like it's just, I mean, I'm doing the best I can do. And I told her, I'm like, okay, let me talk like I'm selfish. I was like, let me talk like I'm selfish right now. Like, this is my perspective. Like, you're being taken advantage of. And it's not by me. I'm like, I have the right to say that I deserve more SSI money. And I've done a good job, and I'm holding my own. And every day is like a battlefield that like I'm worried that I'm going to go back to jail. And I'm worried every day, that if somebody says, oh, we don't like him, parking here, fuck him. And then I'm back in jail. And it's like, she starts crying, and she's like, I don't want you worried every day like that. And I said, I was like, I don't know these people in the house. I was like, I don't know them. I was like, I want them out. And I'm like talking like Anakin. I'm like, I want them out. I want them out of here. Fuck. And I'm like, so it's just like, I go through this and I have to get animated or else no one listens to me. Like no one cares about me. And like, it's just like, oh, he's Joe Cool, he's Joe Cool. Like he's holding it together. Like he's cool. And like no one cares about him. And like, oh, he's just like breezing through the day. Like, and I said, I'm like, do you understand how hard this is for me to survive? And she's like, no. And I'm like, what do you mean no? Like, what do you mean no? I'm like, Dad will say, oh, Mom has high blood pressure and, she works so hard and we're exhausted. And you don't understand that. I said, the people living at your house don't understand that. I said, I do understand that. I said, it's Friday, no requests, no questions. And I'm talking to you and you can barely keep your eyes open. And I'm telling you a perspective. I said, this is me right now. Like, saying a perspective, like every day is like I'm surviving every day. Like I'm on the street. I said, I deserve to have my own place. I said, and I'll talk selfish, but I really do. And I've told her like, I'm a grown man. I need my own place. And like I said, we've gone backwards. Like We've gone backwards. I said, everywhere I go, I said, I'm a fugitive. Everywhere I go, I get in trouble. And now I got in trouble here, and we're still here. I said, we're still here. We're still here. And I'm like, so, and you know, I'm Cinderella, like, I'm doing all the chores. I'm doing everything. Like, that's what I fly to do. I'm Cinderella. Like, I'm the maid of the house. I'm doing all the bills. I'm doing everything. And like, she just wants to be, you know, taking my soup and taking my meal and put it in a box and fill up your bag and fill up your plate, fill up your bag and fill up your plate. You know, Ed Sheeran. And she just wants to be happy-go-lucky, like, oh, everything's okay. We just stole from him. We just stole everything from him, his entire life. And it's like, I'm not okay with that. And I'm like, I'm asking for one thing. I'm like, get these Mexicans out of the house. Get these Mexican-minded people out of the house because they don't belong here. I'm like, this is me and you and Dad. That's it. That's it. I'm like, you're my only friends. I'm like, I don't have any friends. I'm like, we're not fucking Mexicans. I said, get them out.